all this we have been done since morning, and since yesterday also there was on a 6 hour of power pack session yesterday too, and today it is also going to this hour. I say it is no, it is the conclusion of everything we have been defined, the actual conclusion of this conference we want to extend through this conference to the HR professionals, the role of industrial relation. It is not the documentation part or just going to the government and giving them some bribes. It is something you have to do inside, and there your role. Number one, your role, you are the custodian of the human capital, and then your management. These two should be aligned into the same platform when it is going to be happen. So what is going to happen? You will create a vibrant workplace, and that, as we have been aligned especially to this conference, our theme is the empowering HR professional, inspiring the business growth. That rightly would be happen from this discussion, because we have been invited those professionals who has been worked more than 3 decades and around 4 decades into the industry. The scenario of differently every decade, the industrial relation has been changed. Now into the next 10 year, then next 10 year, it is going not just slightly but rapidly going to the another side, like it is shifting the coin one side to another side. So that everything, the flipping side of industrialization, we are picking it up here. We have some questions, so we are going to discuss. Everyone, you can just watch, make a note. However, we are recording it, it is going to come to you for every time. You can watch multiple times. We are making the arrangement for that. And now I would first, the topic for the discussion is especially to the leadership in industrial relation. First, it come about what the strategy should be. When the strategy, you can define how that lead the next level successful. Successness of the strategy is depend on your action, your mindset, then your commitment, then your collaboration with the management team, because there are the two different sides. One, the people have their own opinion, their own need. Management who has been they developed that business, they have their own goal. So the combination, you as an HR have to make them. So that's why when we talk about the HR function, when we in academy we have been read and we have been read through. So that is about HR is the role of bridging the gap between employee and employer relation. So beyond to the document part and especially to the legislation, we are moving ahead to something else. And furthermore, there are the real kind of the scenarios, especially to dealing the relation between employee and employer. Industrial relation come beyond to that. The foundation is inside your organization. What is this foundation? We are discussing that. Then further the strategy, real world experience since 4 decades. Who are the panelists? They have the around 4 decades of experience in industrial relation, employee engagement, that we are bringing here together. So first of all, I would again welcome all the parties and that the speakers. And once I would also that announce that the Sharad Chandra is the Assistant Vice President, Head HR in GSTL. Samar Mahapatra is the Advisor HR, as in the CHRO India, that the Sampark India Logistic, as well as Bipul Shah, Industrial Advisor, Head HR Lead, and the Mark with Success Engineering Technologies. So a variety of experience we are going to collect through this the discussion. So now, first, I would like to one by one. There would be the 3 round. Already we have been shared the speaker guide, and I do not go to there. So just first of all, the whole question asking. So here, single input from all the panelists. I would like to ask. Go first to Vipul and Shah. When we talk about the role of leadership and how you see the industrial relation and its success, this is the same question for all three. One by one, you just give your views and your opinion on
In
this.
in my experience, the role of HR leader or industry, you because lot of things are there which he is controlling. He should be very, very closely networking with the people, whether it is workmen, whether it is staff. In automotive industry, in 90% of the cases where there are a lot of fluctuations, it has been felt that industry HR manager is going to work on behalf of management, and any day he will bring the sword. So, first, most important thing is he has to be very, very polite, diplomatic, and very, very like successful by his company's people. They should be recognizing him well, that he cannot do anything wrong with them, which is like generally not there, but that is something what he has to try to achieve. Is that uh, answer enough, or you want to me to go a little more in detail?
No, it is enough as at the beginning. Thank you so much. So, because I will go for just the overview, getting to all the parties that speaker here for the panelists here for the participants. Then we are going deep into all the questions. So now I would like to go to Samar Mahapatra ji. Please, what is your overview on the leadership role and success of the industry relation? You are mute, so kindly just unmute yourself. You are mute.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah. Now
This is a very interesting question. I would say this is the major question because if leadership is effective, IR is taken care of, HR is taken care of, organization is taken care of, business is taken care of. So leadership matters. Okay. So leaders' role here I will specify the context of IR. If the leader is effective, then there is harmonious IR situation. Okay. There would never be adverse IR situation in the organization. The leader is supposed to know about his people across the organization, whether they are the workers or the unions or the managers, white collar, blue collar. He should know them. He should be in touch with them regularly. He should understand their issues, their problems, understand their expectations, understand the expectation or the issue or the problems which is common to the majority of the people, something which is affecting or what majority want, the HR leader is supposed to work on that. How IR problem happens is if majority is on one side with a set of demands, then a major IR problem happens. A small group trying to create IR problem, you can easily handle it. You can easily handle it. But when you have the recognized union, or the
Please unmute
majority
yourself.
union putting up demands, pressurizing you, and you are not able to manage it, then that leads to major IR issues. Actually, if I talk in the context of HR and IR both taken together, the failure of HR leads to IR problem. It is HR which comes first. It is not IR which comes first. IR can come first. Reason being, how does an IR problem come up? It's a need felt, or a need created, or a wish or a desire or a demand which was not fulfilled or delayed or prolonged discussion or negotiation which has frustrated the people, the workers, the union, they have they are frustrated. And then higher problems are bound to happen. So HR has to take care of the people. If you fail to take care of the people, that is where the higher problem crops up. Okay. Therefore, a good HR leader, a good HR leader, he can, he is a proactive IR leader. A good HR leader is automatically a, a proactive IR leader. In the previous session, I was listening about reactive, proactive, and they were talking about HR, IR. IR is a different vertical. No, it is HR which is supposed to take care of people. See, whether you are talking about IR or HR, in both it is people. It is people. And what do people want? They want to be, they are to be taken care of. Is it? Whether you talk up, whether you say it is demands, charter of demands, you say anything. It is, it is, you have to take care of that. Okay. So when you fail to take care of that, yeah, an IR situation starts. Okay. Therefore, unless you are a very good HR leader, you cannot be a good IR leader. And a good IR leader, in in the past, IR leaders had different traits, qualities, or competences. But today, it would fail. Why? That those days, say 3 decades ago, IR means be diplomatic, be secretive, don't share information with the workers, with the union. Okay, not to share anything with them. Okay, mislead them, give them wrong information, hide things. Okay, and you are trying to have an upper hand on the union in order to suppress them, not to part to all their demands. Okay, that was a very different game. There was lot of diplomacy and politics, shrewdness, cleverness in that. Whereas today you cannot do that. Today the worker is highly enlightened. He, he even doesn't require a union leader. He himself is so enlightened. Okay. He is equally aware as you. Today, he expects the worker also expects the management to be transparent, to be very transparent. Okay. So things have turned to objectivity, data, fairness, you have to share. So it is now, it has to be win-win situation. Those days, the typical IR was not win-win. It was never win-win. It was win-lose. And who was trying to win? Management was trying to win. And they used to try to make the union lose. Very interestingly, the union leaders, they were never losing. It was the workers who were losing. Union leaders were always taken care of, even when deals were not in favor of the settlements, were not in favor of the workers. But it was always win-win between the union leader and and
Management.
people know why it was happening. Why it was. You have people, it is rare to see a union leader who is poor. He's also a worker. He's also getting the same wages or salary, but he's not a poor. I was in a central PSU. I was HR head of a central PSU and the union leader. He was also an operator. He was he was almost illiterate. He was not even 10th pass. Okay. He was constructing third floor in his house, third floor. Okay. And his period was coming to an end after 3 months. The 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 candidate who from the other union who wanted to win the election and become the president, he came to me and he said, the reason why he told me, he told me that I'm telling you frankly, the reason why I want to contest the elections, I want to win and I want to be the president of the union because इसको देखो तीसरी मंजिल बना रहा है कुछ भी नहीं था he was nothing he was nothing he was so poor guy and with his salary of 50,000 okay PSUs even the worker is paid well 50,000 50,000 सैलरी में 3 मंजिला 3 स्टोरीड मकान बन सकता है क्या he said
Right.
I
So,
know everything
Samarji,
the
so
MD of the
now,
company gives him money
Samarji. So, I would
yes
now go to Sharat Chandraji
okay
because
sure
first it was
thank
the
you
small insight, then we are going
yeah
for one by
thank you
one. Now,
yes
Sharat Chandraji, your opinion overview on the leadership role and into the successful industrial relation strategies.
Yeah. So here, thank you so much, sir, Sangvi ji,
Welcome.
and the entire panel. And so, good evening, all. Here, the major facet of a HR leader, what I feel is empowering the people, and secondly, the leveraging the technology. We are living in this AI role, AI-driven world. HR analytics plays quite different role, and has got lot of importance on data analytics and decision making. Then what I say on the front of HR, what I feel is people first culture. The culture is very important. Employee engagements, honing the skills of leadership for the people, prioritizing prioritizing on all areas of works, including the effective communication across the organization. Then strategy, definitely being in the good, you need to have a concrete strategy of what you are planning, how is your business goals achieved, and leveraging technology, upskilling and reskilling the people, and enhancing the roles. I mean, see what generally have, you have job descriptions and all, you have performance management, and then the entire the culture what happens in the organization. So you need to, on the organization wide, what I feel is these are the areas where you can enhance, or you have a strategy of how you develop your people to go for the next level. And on the IR front, yes, industrial relations automations are there. Now the world has changed, and there's no much of the unions. Though unions are there, but unions are slightly employee friendly. What I see, worker friendly. So those areas are there. But as an effective HR, he need to guide IR leaders on all factories and all, and have a proper culture, because as mentioned by Samar sir, HR, the issue arises at the IR only because of HR. So the policy building, the you need to have good policies in place, proper deployment of the resources, proper the release of payments for all the people. So this will happen. This will be, challenges will be there. It is how you balance the management and the workmen. What I feel.
All right. Thank you so much for the speakers and the panelist opinion overview for the. It is altogether that the human connection should be there. Everyone, either that is management, that is the mid-level manager, and that is the down the line and operator. Everyone are the human beings. So that's why if the successful strategy for the industrial relation have to develop, so they require the human connection as part of the HR leaders. So everyone has been given the right that your thought, however, you are the experts, but I cannot just go into what you have been given. So that is that effectively you have been experienced into the domain. Now it come to the when we go the futuristic into the industrial relation, we have the different scenarios into the decade. One, it go to the way the very difficult industrialization or the union system we have been seeing. Then after come to the post that the pandemic era. Now the workmen, there are the socialization and everything, every knowledge is available on the social media, so they are more aware. But here when we talk about with this objective of this conference, we are not just talking about the however, that is the fundamental. We are going the one step beyond. In that, there we have been specially defined the three areas for this conversation. So first, when we are going to the particular the discussion point we have, so here I would again ask to all the speakers there and as well as the panelists. So the three area, like when we have to go for the success strategies for the industrial relation. So what you see that the either it is the human centric leadership that can better perform. What is the role of technology into that? Where in the mindset of the leadership, what they have been in their mind and what they preach to down their who are the stakeholder, like use the senior people. Then the how to determine the organization stability. So first of all, I would go again to Vipul and Shahji for the what is the role of industrial relation into the human centric leadership.
Yeah, basically, there is going to be a great and big change. Expectations of workmen, employees, even managers is increasing. So, in this situation, one of the thing every industry should go with fair basic remuneration and slowly go toward performance linked salaries. And company's performance should be linked to the lowest person to topmost person. And nowadays, in international standards, it goes up to 30% also. So that in this situation, what happens that people are busy more in their mind to achieve that goal, and they are busy with work than going here and there gossips. While managing this, something which is very important is a great balance. If a company is doing very well, suddenly we should not be paying such a high remuneration so that the company next door, which is not doing well, is in trouble, or their own company can come in trouble at a difficult time when they are not able to pay. This is called as a little balancing act. How you will balance it? There are like ways and means. Like till now, it was being said that performance linked wages is not going to work in India. But in some unorganized sectors, small scale industry or tiny scale industries, it has been doing a great job. Retention rates have been very high. People are more satisfied and they are more and more working toward the achieving organization goal, and then automatically it bounces back to them by remuneration to them. And this is the only thing which is going to succeed in future. If someone says कि fixed remuneration is going to work, day by day it's going off, and people have to see to it that they get rid of it. That is what I can say. And once again, thank you very much. And most important thing, this system should be such a way, it should not be a losing proposition. The people should be getting benefit out of it. In many of the companies in India, people created such a performance linked system where the guy gets hardly few percent, 1%, 2%. Then it's of no use. It has to be interesting. It has to be motivating. And in many companies nowadays, people do what? For few good workmen or staff, they invite their families and reward them with some token of money, that how your worker, because families are also nowadays getting involved, how the worker is doing, how his manager is working, and that recognition and that certificate goes long way, and because of that retention rate also goes up quite a lot. So this is what all, there are many ways and means. Like I have 40 years worked in industry, largest like Bharat Forge with 10,000 people and others. But important is you have to have a system where company also benefits and workmen also benefit. It should not be one-sided game.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bipul and San. While I go to the another panelist, before that, I have to announce there are the another two sessions which is still pending because we are 1.5 hour delayed by the schedule. So we have the slight change. First, this session is going discussion is going to 7:30. So 7:30, after 7:30 we are starting the session with the Shrilata. If you are a Shrilata there, so please be ready for the 7:30. Then there is another session with Idwini Joel. If you are there, so your session would be start after that. So please be stay on. So I think this would be go till 9 today. So now I would go to Sharat Chandra quickly
Yeah.
on the human centric approach. So
Yes,
what is
human
your
centric only 2 points what Vipul sir mentioned. Remuneration plays a major role, but in a smaller companies you have those linked policies and all. In bigger organization, I think you need to have a proper rewards and recognition policy in place where at all levels that will materialize, which is a proper human centric approach on the IR front also, because it is going all the levels across the organization. You have a proper policy and where you reward your people, and there are other rewards like long service awards. When you cross 5 years or 10 years, you reward them with 10,000 or 20,000 amount. So these are the small policies what generally is happening across the organization nowadays. The current trend is going on the areas of long service awards, remuneration increase along with the benchmarking with the other companies. But again, at the rate you have your own outcome of the business, because you have to balance the business also. See, we are all talking about employee centric and all, but at the same time, you have to balance, or you have to see the management also. Management will not accept so many things. So you need to have a proper, you be in a catalyst or you be in a good role, and you need to manage those things in a proper way. So that is how you be in a good HR leader, what I feel. So this, those qualities of a patience and perseverance are very important, and the good policies in place, benchmarking with the good policies of other companies. These are the only criteria where you have employee centric approach.
rightly? Thank you so much. So now I would like to go to Samar Mahapatra ji. Please, your opinion on the, especially into the industrial relations, that success as point of the top leader and the management side. However, the Sharat Chandra has rightly described. So people centric should not be pointed to we can have the success into the industrial relation. It is about also to taking care the mindset objective of the businesses too. So we have to align with the management team also. So now I would like to your opinion and that how you look the people centric approach and for the successful industrial relation the strategies.
You see, people centric, we have to be. We have to be people centric. But when we are people centric, we also have to be, we cannot be only people centric, it has to be business centric as well. Okay. So, why we want IR? We want IR to for business growth, for business sustainability. Okay.
Right.
So, therefore, take care of people to the best extent possible, not beyond a point. Today, things are very different. If you are fair to the people, they can perceive that you are fair to them. Okay. If you are not fair to them, see, earlier it was very different. Both, there was a huge communication gap between both. And there used to be a deliberate communication gap from the management side, deliberate. As I said earlier, it was different strategy altogether, not to share information. Okay. So now it's all transparent. You have to share. It is data based. Negotiations are also data based. Okay. You have to, your business has to grow, has to make good profits. Now it is, you see higher problems now, very, very few, very, very few. Say recently Samsung, and then there was Hyundai. Okay. So you see very, very few. In the whole year, you may find one or two hardly. And those are in some large organization. What has happened is people have realized, employees have realized, workers have realized, if they create IR problems, then they will lose their jobs. Nowadays, the owners are ready to shut down their factory. It's a very different approach of the owners now. Instead of, they will not bend. They will not bend. Today, the owners don't want to bend too much. They can bend little. They want to shut down. So now workers are very scared of this shutdown, losing jobs, families suffering, because they have seen it happening in the past, decades ago. This has happened. They have seen how their own parents, father, had lost his job due to strikes or lockouts or company shutting down due to air problems. Okay. So the right message has already gone to the people. Don't create IR problem. Don't create and don't over demand. Don't pressurize the management too much. Now the management will not come at the receiving end of it. Rather, the management will put you in great trouble. Will put you in great trouble. He'll simply shut down the plant or he'll shift the factory. Now you see, those days you would not hear that there is a strike and the owner wants to shift the plant. Today, something happens in Haryana in a factory, the owner wants to shift it to Noida, close by. Okay. He will say, I'll take my plant from north to Gujarat, where it is peaceful and I'm assured of no higher problems. Okay. Today, the governments are assuring that I'm assuring you of no higher problems. Come and do business in my state. Now, one of the investment criteria of the government to attract business is I am assuring you of no higher problems. If anything comes up, I will take care of that. So things are very different. The greatest thing which
This also has come,
happened
sir.
now is fear of the worker to lose job. He has seen it. He has heard those stories.
CES has also come, special economic zones, where government
Yes.
is promoting all those things. So they'll shift the units and problem will be for workers only.
Yes.
Yes, rightly. So I'm with the Samar
Uh,
Mahapatra's the opinion has been said. So that especially now the strikes rate that we last decade we have seen very few. So here I would go again to Vipul Shah. So picking that the as rightly said the last decade we have seen very less number of the strike, only few like Samsung and that is the Hundi in the Tamil Nadu state. But what is your opinion on that? It is rightly to the awareness created or it is the fear? So how you would describe this and how you see that what rightly have to done where these strike which in the very small number is happening, that should be totally shattered down, and the other side how we look forward to have an great extent of the industrial relation, so the futuristic we thought here.
yeah. One most important thing is first, it is a plant head and HR head and IR head. You can say all three have to work so closely that there is no industrial problem. And there is a high level of productivity achieved so that there is no management pressure coming from backside for creating any issue for the work. Because if strike takes place and it goes to some other industrial zone or somebody, I will never say it is the owner who is responsible. It is that plant's HR head, IR head, and plant head who could not manage well. And if they see a problem, well in advance, something is done, it will be always better and they will achieve much better result. The it is like that ki we have to give life to the industry. If it has run for 20 years, 30 more years, how it will run? And for that, whatever anybody says that nowadays the owners, promoters do not like disagree to shift the plant, this, that. But at the end of the day, it is the waste of resources, shifting plant, new plant machinery, and all that. In this competitive world, at the end of the day, it increases the cost of the product. So, wherever, whatever it is, zero depreciated plant, no management will want to touch unless and until there is a issue related to productivity or labor or somebody. So the biggest and most important activity, as I said, it cannot be done in even 1 year. Maybe it may take 10 years. Let's start with some 2%, 4% next year, 6% next year, performance link, so that at the end of the day, I have seen several medium-sized industries and large industries. Unfortunately, although I am a HR man, 80% to 90% of HR people are not liked by workmen and even by the staff. Why it is so? And if it is so, why those 20% are there? They are doing so well. They are able to achieve the results. Their industries has no problem. So we should take some of those industries as role model and try to work on that model, which will give a success to everybody. And it will be, because see, going with the thing that in past there was like labor issues, those were not there. Today also, one of the worst thing which happens in the industry, unionized workmen give very poor efficiency. Plants are running with temporary worker or contract workers, and permanent workers are just like soppies. So how to improve that? That is because that cost company is wasting. And then one day company has to go to decide now let us do. So company is not making decision because those workmen are not doing well. Company is making decision because those HR head, IR head, and plant head cannot control their people, and it will go make more losses, so better I shift it. So this is where we have to understand it. First thing is, all HR head, plant head, IR head has to become owner and taking the onus of making profit. What happens? They don't take the onus of making profit, and then all the issue starts. And there is no blame game going to work, only teamwork going to work. That is what I can say, and I can further debate for further long. But most important is, if any labor trouble is there, it is not the failure of top management, because it comes once in a year. It comes once in a year. It is we who are responsible for it.
Shah has to remove.
Mr. Kendrapa, Mr. Kendrapa, please mute yourself.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So
Yes, please.
I will conclude at it. We are in HR forum, and we have to be very, very positive and see to it we make a great beginning.
Right. Thank you so much, Vipul and Shah, giving your insight, especially to lifeline to the industries. So when we talk about the businesses has been set up, so as the top side, if the HR leader, the CHRO, we said, as in the really the people stakeholder, the custodian, there the matching with the objective of the businesses sometimes lacking. So in that case, there are the industrial unrest or the dispute or the grievance first it come into the picture, as Bipul and Shaj especially said that the people are not effective. So in that case, I would go to the Sharat Chandra ji. So how would you like this? When we have to bring the life to the industries, so they are inside the relation between the plant manager, the role of plant manager, secondly the HR and IR manager, how you see that? What it can be done to effectively have such initiative taken part so that the lifeline for the industries can be given, because it is the people, the business would be done through the people only.
Skill development initiatives are very important. As a HR head, IR head, and plant head, they need to observe, they need to see who are the skilled and unskilled labor, and how the union is there. If the union is there, that is a different case. If the employees are there, how you need to have that skill development initiative. You need to rebuild, or you need to reskill them with the current technologies, and you need to have a proper people-centric approach. Hence, where productivity is taken care for the organization, as well as, and they are the, I mean, so it's not a blame game what sir mentioned, but as a proactive HR head, you need to think, initiate those good policies and procedures, ensuring that work moves on, but you have a constant update from the management, and update the management about what are the recent updates have been done in the organization. So it should be a that's what. So always there is a pressure for a HR head from right from management as well as the employees. Whatever you do, employees will think HR has done. So always HR is always a villain in the entire organization. That is pakka. But that villain also, you need to be very good. But these days, because they are now IR and all is gone, I think, but major manufacturing companies are there. What I generally heard from hear from all these HR heads, IR heads. But now the trend has changed. You need to be people centric. You need to be slightly administratively good and manage the people at your organization.
All right. Thank you so much for bringing that at the point of where we are going to deep into further discussion. So when we talk about the industrial relation, it is altogether not the that initiative of as a HR as focusing by the leadership. It is the combination of every the not individual, but as in the people who are into the role of HR, managing the resources, and then as the management, so that the successful strategies related to industrial relation can be framed, then accordingly communicated, then later on it is implemented, then reversibly it is coming to again, so that we can see the right results. Now come to the, we here has been described that the people centric approach, then we have the what the businesses have now, what are the leaders their approach, rather than the previous generations where that the business leader are open. Now if it is not happening, issues are there, they can move their business to the another location. What is happening at the end, like the summer sir has said, so the people are troubling at the end, because in the previously 2 and 3 decade before, we have seen our parents, they have been kicked off. Even though in 2012 with Maruti, the latest case, there the many people, 258 some people that were lastly to the jail for more than 5 years. Around the 1500 people were impacted. So what at the end they have been. So after that, many of them has been a struggle. So rightly, it is about to the awareness creation, and secondly, the right strategy by the people. So now it come to the the point of this panel discussion. So we here focusing as part of the leadership success. So there the and now we have to go evolve the other participants also to the evolving role of HR to understanding the new scenario, the futuristic approach, so that we can more evolve into defining, refining, and connecting to the people, so that bring more inspiration for the business growth. So in that case, how CHRO can redefine the that the industry, or especially the industry can define the role of CHROs in industrial relation, or especially to the who are the HR professionals. They have to especially into focus on the industrial relation. We are not talking it about the litigation type. It is broadly we are going through the that the global scenario. So we are not only to the blue collar, they are now the white collar people also into the organization. So in that perspective, how we see the evolving role of the CHRO come into the picture, what are your advices? So first I would go to Samar Mahapatra ji to put your that enlightenment on this especially to the evolving role, how we can define and how further it can be aligned with the futuristic approach.
Uh, can you just tell me one line what you
What I asked.
meant? Yeah,
Yes.
what you asked.
Yeah,
Yeah, one
I
line.
asked that,
You
yeah,
spoke
the
too
role of
long.
CHRO, how we can define the evolving role of CHRO in industrial relation in perspective of today and then 10 year later on, because the industrial relation perspective is not slightly but rapidly changing. So maybe what we see in the last 10 years, as you have been said, there are the industrial strikes has been happen only 2 and 3%, maximum 10% if you see overall scenario. But now in the next year, that may not be, that strike would also be digital also. So maybe in the future we can see. So how you see the role of, here we are talking about the leadership strategy. So the CHRO role, how it can be more evolved toward the industrial relation.
A good CHRO is the one who is not only managing things at the moment very well, but today he has to be lot futuristic. Futuristic in terms of changing technologies, AI. How many of my people can be replaced with AI? How much how much more productive can I become with AI? How much manpower can I reduce with AI or technology? How much manpower cost can I reduce with AI? I just give few examples of what CHRO has to think of, what has to be his agenda. And employee health and well-being has become extremely important post COVID. Post COVID, agility, resilience has become very important for the organization. So the CHRO has now has to work on building agile organizations, resilient employees, agile employees, how to use new technologies like AI, how to use it. Okay. How to manage the new generation employees. They are very different. They are very different. And your new workforce is going to be the new generation. So you have to be highly skilled in that. You have to be highly, and now coaching, skill development, of course, is there. But this reskilling, upskilling, this has become very important. Then how do you now new challenges like managing hybrid workforce? People don't want to come back to office. People want work from home. Some people want to come to office. They feel socially alienated being at home. Okay. So very different challenges have come up. And today, the CHRO, many people think, including myself, that now those days are over. Now the best, the CHRO can be the best CEO, which was never there. Now you see many CHROs have become CEOs. They're doing well. So now the CHRO should aspire to be the CEO. Okay. So going beyond his role, and if a good HR leader, good CHRO becomes CEO, he is going to do extremely well. Okay. So I stop here. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
please. Thank you so much.
so
So now I would go first to Bipul and Shah, and then I come to Sharat Chandraji. So especially to we are talking here about the CHR role. Either it is the new generation
Yeah.
and the
See, this
futuristic, how we can define.
like last 5 years, CHRO role has come. Basically, it is combination of HR and IR, and more importantly, in many organizations, it controls HR, not controls, it guides HR, IR, and plant head. He has a great vision, like how the company 5 years down the road will go, how many people will become extra. So instead of retrenchment, he thinks of sending them over to alternate plant or new plant or like that, because retrenchment is a word which is never like, and so to say, nobody will like, whether you or me. So how he is able to create goals for the company organization, if multiple plants are there for each plant, and then he creates the strategy to monitor them, how it will be monitored and controlled. Then he creates, as I was telling you, the gradation and performance links bonuses, and he is directly reporting to top management, maybe MD or board of directors, who are the real brains for the growth of the company. So that is the basic strong role of CHRO. But the capability wise, that CHRO should be so good that he should be able to guide and create a teamwork between HR, IR, and plant head, that performance of the plant is going excellent. He should, with his presence, at least 10% performance of the plant should be improving, whether it is in terms of productivity, maintenance, because the people are motivated wherever, and he keeps an eye in each and every area. What can go wrong? What That is the role of CHR.
Right. Thank you. You have very specifically elaborated the future generation of the role of CHR, or how we can look like, especially to who can. It is the that and we are talking about the IR and the industry relation and workplace relation, it is more on the advocacy. So when
Yeah.
there is the proper mentoring, proper guiding, so that the role of CHR is now evolving into this way. Now I would like to come to Sharat Chandraji's, now your opinion. So how we
Yeah.
see the CHR role in the future, today, tomorrow, and then 10
Yeah.
years later.
Yes. So CHROs is a very, I mean, it's a very coveted position for any organization where he, I mean, he bond with the management as well as the people. In the AI driven company, I mean, being in the manufacturing companies, you need to have adhere to the policies and procedures of uh, the where AI will be less because AI driven are mostly IT companies. But here also you have process automation. So as a HR head or as a CHRO, you need to have process excellence. You need to initiate process optimization, process excellence areas, Six Sigma approach, Lean Sigma approach, so that ultimately you have a process excellence in your plants, and you have a better profit generation for the company. So on all areas of resources, your material, the entire part. So that process excellence studies what you have, if you can impart as a HR head, then definitely it has a huge impact on the organization. So these are the areas what I feel as a HR head is process excellence, systems, processes in place, good HR policies and procedures, AI driven, yes, IT companies, IT driven, ITES enabled services companies, they need to have those hybrid models and the 5-day week companies or whatever. But in the manufacturing, you need to have a set procedures of the 5-day week company or second and fourth Saturdays off. So those policies you have to have very clear cut understanding. Ultimately 24 hours schedule you need to have for the operations to go on.
Yeah, thank you so much. So as we see and discussed about the advocacy role of the new generation of CHROs, so that is where the connecting of either technology and most it is about the aligning the business strategies to the people strategies. So when it is come to the next one. So when as in the CHRO said as in the that advocacy role. So in that case, the other stakeholder. So there are the challenges almost and everywhere you have been also experienced into your career as in the heading of HR function. So there are the collaboration challenges. If you are initiating something, the other stakeholder they have the resistance. So how that you see that these challenges the future CHRO can evolve, and what is your take on, and what is your opinion and advices? So I would like to go for this, Mr. Bipul Shah.
What
Yes,
I want
please.
to add here, very
Yes,
important
please.
point. Any new policy what you are placing, you need to have, if it is there in an existing policy, and then the proposed new policy and a justification. So justification includes your benchmarking. Why do you want to propose that? So this area of your thought process, you need to have with your collaboration with your all the different HODs. So
Right.
initially you need to deal individual HODs, you need to speak to them that you are going to plan this particular thing. You need to take his concurrence and then speak to the other people also, because in the forum they cannot speak. You need to have a one-on-one dialogue with your HODs, what I generally do. Hence I am able to manage it properly by from past 4 5 years what I was a HR head in the earlier company also. So the deal one-on-one, make him explain him all the things, and then go for the deployment. Yeah.
Yeah, rightly. When there are these stakeholder collaboration challenges, so right strategies are there. People especially have to go to one, which in the Japanese there is one term called the nevamash, which is that one of the technique used before going to officially, unofficially go to the personal talk in the that in individual getting in his pulse and what he can, what sense he has, then accordingly pitching again. So this is same like as in the HR advocacy, then sale. It is a selling person also too, but not the any product, that is the thought ideas and the management strategies. So now I would go to Vipul sir. So what
Yeah.
is your
So
opinion on
basically,
this?
for the CHRO, one of the most important role is, which may take maybe 4 to 6 months to 8 months, the three four people's teamwork, like plant head and HR head and IR head is so aligned and the company's goal are become common. Generally, this is one of the thing which misses that CHRO is with some other mission and all others are other mission. So that has to become totally aligned. And most importantly, this has to become totally transparent before it is going to the second line or third line, so that no one can say this is generally in India. Unfortunately, we are very strong in blame game. ये मैंने नहीं, वो तो मेरे बॉस ने बोल दिया इसलिए मैं कर रहा हूं. We don't like to take the responsibility. Taking the responsibility when the policies and instructions are given, it is all together in a common meeting, it is given in a positive note, so that tomorrow it cannot be like that it is somebody else's job, this is not my job, that is because of his wish I am doing. And more important is more and more transparent, more and more, instead of objective, it should be performance written, percentage, value numbers. They have to be coming in, because small, big, 1 rupee can be small and 1 lakh rupee also can be small against 1 crore. So everything should be jotted down very clearly, transparently understood, and before going to the second line, what can be the repercussion of that? That should have been, as I said, CHRO's one of the biggest role is he should be a big thinker, and he should be like having pros and cons in hand. Suppose this strategy does not work, then what is the next? Not like that strategy did not work and then I'm searching it. So that is the real job of CRO. That is why today CHRO are becoming very, very important. But they are real brains and they are the total leader, plant performance owners also. You can say, as somebody said, plant heads are becoming CHRO. My submission is, if anybody in anywhere plant has to succeed, plant head has to be made HR head. He has to taught all HR practices. He cannot go and demand down the line something which he cannot do. And one of the most important role in this manual, whatever we write, we should be able to demonstrate it. It is not only for the sake of writing, it should have been written. If once I can demonstrate it, I am sure second line, third line, plant will be able to demonstrate it. And that is what is the whole thing everywhere. It has to be like that. What sometimes we speak to our worker, I want this production 20,000. But you know that machine capacity is only 15,000. Because why we are giving 20,000? So that I can negotiate at 15,000. So it's wrong. What is possible that should be asked, demanded, and should be achieved. That should be the role of CHRO also. And any given time, he should be able to demonstrate the same.
Rightly. Thank you so much. So when we talk about the CHRO, the evolving role, there are the many things have to consider. Rightly, we are into the era of that technology. So now I would like to go to Samar Mahapatra ji. So how the today's and tomorrow's CHRO to become more, they wisely can go through choosing the innovation or the technology for especially into the workforce or the workplace management, or either to the employee management, what they have to consider, what are the right thing, have to right approaches, especially it is about when financial constraints are there, how to convince the management and what should be the strategies.
See, as I said, CHRO is now responsible for creating highly agile organizations which can quickly adapt to any change in the environment. Okay, like COVID, one example. A resilient workforce who can quickly align to the changes. Okay, it can be even skill. quickly reskill to the new skill which is required. So that agility. See, now things are changing faster than the past. So the CHRO today has to be very predictive, highly predictive on technology, predictive on people trends like new generation employees, their mindset, so that those trends, people trends, technology trends, skill trends, skills required for the future, and the CHR.
Mm, mm.
I think that Samar Mahapatra ji has the connection issue. So can I pick this question with the Sharachandra,
With the
please?
least
So,
damage. Okay.
okay.
So new skills. Okay. Now things are, there is no stability. There is no stability in the business environment now. Long term stability. If things will be quickly changing. So the CHR has to keep his organization ready for any future challenge. That readiness of the organization, he has to take care on the people front, on the culture front, on the mindset front. He has to keep the organization ready.
Yes, thank you so much. As you have been elaborated about the mindset related to the culture, and then adoption of the technology, but further there are the one most important part. The success of the CHRO as in the success strategy for the industrial relation that come up with the challenges. So those challenges are especially into where we facing about the number one employee grievances. However, it may be attention, but 99% cases it may not be intentionally. And then what would be the ideal strategies? So in that case, I would go first with the Sharad Chandraji's, because when we talk about the top side, as in CHRO framing of the policy strategies, that aligning the mindset with same as the management had. But at the down the line, when you are going to implement those strategies, when we have to evaluate their successful, the successness or their success, so there we see how the people are going to revert and how the people are going to impacting through these strategies. So what would you advise, what would be your advices to the grievance handling for in the new age of CHRO, as rightly from your current the experience and looking forward to the next 10 years? So that is the particularly the fundamental basic for the industrial relation. Where the any grievance is there, can we say that in future there would not be any grievance or the zero grievance workplace? However, it is not possible, but as in the CHR and the new generation, we can that expect. So how you describe and how you just that go to all these, the future CHR have to take on some strategies, some action, so that the real kind, the zero grievance workplace we can adopt.
Zero grievance, I say it is very anything is impossible on that front because major the workforce is so huge that small issues will also become big. But it is as a strategy, or what I say is first is you need to have a proper talent in your company. So the hiring plays a major role. So it is how you hire the people and how you those people how you they build the organization is very important. So the first point is how you bring the talent and what is the how you evaluate and assess the talent at a lower level also. So you need to have a proper policy in place on recruitment, or what I say is a talent acquisition at all the levels. I mean, at the plant level, how plant HRs are managing those things, what are the job descriptions you have, and how you plan your proper way of incoming the talent is very important so that company get proper talent and build the organization. Second thing is policies and procedures are very important. You need to stay abreast and in concurrent with the current trend, what is going on. So the best of policies, but in line with the management, whatever your industry is there, how you are planning in that particular industry, what are the best practices you have, you try to put it, but again you have to evaluate with the other HODs also. So that's a separate process of how you get the policy and how it get evaluated, and then place the getting that policy in place. So that is one point. And then fourth point is your compensation benefits, very important part. How you reward your employees, how you pay your the CTC structures, as well as your rewards and recognition programs, how it is in place. That plays a major role, because how you reward your employees also has a good impact on the organization. That is one. And then the normal employee engagements at the plant also is very important. And that's all. So these are the things I think, if you take care as a HR head, definitely the organization will not have so many grievances what generally has, and that can be controlled. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much. Now I would go again to Mr. Vipul and Shah. So we are here discussing about, especially to we talk about number one, the evolving role of the CHROs. They should be the great thinker. They should be the advocate. Then adopting the technologies, that is now we are into the era of technology. But at the ground, although the strategies we have been told, but at the ground when we have to implement, how the people side we have to take care. So in that case, there are especially the challenge of the individual grievance. So how do you see this, and how further the CHRO have to prepare themselves to the new align these grievance related things where they are designing these strategies?
First, you deal with your
See,
HODs. First, you call your HODs and discuss about that, whatever you are trying to bring it. And then that gets cascaded down at the lower level. So, first, it is how you update your HODs and have that comfort level with the HODs. And then plan out your work. Definitely, it will not have any impact, what I see.
Right. Thank you so much.
see,
So now, yes,
now,
please.
yeah. So the most important is whether it is CHRO, HR head, or IR head, they should be spending time on shop floor at least once in a month for full day to understand the things. Second, new generation, all the like modern organization always ask for each and every individual staff to provide his next line when he is not available due to some reason, who is going to take care. So, with this means generally HR creates a separate org chart where if there are certain like emergencies are there, who can take care of what, that is being taken care. And most important is 2 days of systematic training to each individual a month, which I think in India hardly 0.1% or 2% people do it, because the one of the reason is the training part missing. They have their own work suffering. That is one of the reason they give. Our work who will do when they will go to training? But training is important part, and it has to be trained not only to the workmen, their managers, their supervisors, their senior supervisors, everyone. In India, the training is totally neglected part, and how to make it happen. What we do in ISOTS, certain rules and guidance are there that this training should be given. We fill up the chart, even we don't take what the man's willingness is, what he is wanting to train. So these are the things like every month review of performance, where it is going, how it is going. That is also like in this, see, CHRO is an indirect person. He will never go to all these places by himself. But through their team, like HR, IR, plant head, focusing on them, he will start getting things done down the line, so that the contingencies or emergencies, whatever is there, those are being taken care. And this is something which is very, very important. And as I said once again, there should be certain level of transparency happening on the shop floor, how the performance of the month is going. In few company like Bosch, they create a scoreboard like a cricket scoreboard, and they achieve their results. So how to make it happen in your organization differently? That is the job of the HR, IR, and plant head, so that everybody is like agile and seeing to it that things are done.
Right. So here, as we are into the last that round of discussion, so maybe next 5 minutes we are going to bind this discussion, then moving to the another session. So here is the last the point which I want to discuss. That is about, we talk about the many things, but the organizational sustainability is most important. So as what is especially to the organization sustainability, what would be the fair practices the HR professional with collaboration to management and other stakeholder have to adopt, and then how to implement? Now I would go to Samar Mahapatra ji to know your views on the, especially to in the part of organization sustainability, and then what should be the fair practices?
I think you talked about talent management, right?
No. I talk about the organization sustainability. It is as in the business
Organization
first.
system.
And second, what would be the fair practices to make in the sustainable organization? As in the beginning, this conversation we started with that the organization are now open to shift one location to another location. If that organization had to sustain that particular location, have the same performance into the business. So as in the CHRO or the at the top angle of the people strategies, how you look and what practice, fair practices have to adopt by the HR professionals.
Okay. In the context of sustainability,
Right.
you mean in the context of
Yes.
Okay, sustainable organization.
Yeah.
Okay, sustainable organization is now the vision of many organizations, how to live long, how to live long. If we go back to 3 decades ago, the large conglomerates which were there, very few have survived. Okay. So sustainable organization would be
You can
those
just highlight
who
the 2
can.
and 3 practices. So don't
Yes,
go to detail. 2 and 3
one
practices,
is
but HR
build
had to take care.
build agile organizations, build futuristic organizations, be innovative. By being innovative, you can stay ahead of your competition. That's the only way to stay ahead of competition, because now technology, finance is available to all. So only innovation will give you an edge over you. And of course, people. People are the greatest differentiator. Okay, not technology. It is said that the people are the greatest differentiator. But how do you attract and retain your people? That's a big challenge. Now it is even tougher. Okay, now it is even tougher. So along with retention, now how much you try, still your retention can't be that 5 to 10%. It's extremely difficult. As you know, attrition rates are high even in companies like Google, the dream company, you know, the number one workplace in the world. So attrition is high even there. So, so what you have to do is build talent pipeline, because attrition is bound to happen. Focusing too much there on retention, you will say you can only target retention of say 80%, not more than that, 80 to 85%. If you achieve, you are too good. You may be the best in the industry. So keep working on talent pipeline. There is a there is a talent flow. There is a talent readiness happening. Okay, which is meeting your requirement at any point of time. So build that kind of talent pipeline.
Yes, rightly. Thank you. So now,
Yeah,
now I would go to
I will
Vipulensha, please.
say,
Yes, please.
yeah, quickly I will answer. First is we should keep updated our, like, systems like transport, canteen, upgraded to the newer level time to time. This is also one of the very, very important thing, because what happens over a period of time, people feel ki in canteen I cannot have my lunch. And those food systems, how it is evaporated, how it is up, like increased. This is like what IT companies have been doing. IT company has been putting up canteens inside the offices, and even coffee shops inside the offices. Maybe the payment somebody else is doing, but these are same way for the transport system. Many old companies does not improve on transport system. हमारे यहाँ तो जो चलता आ रहा है वही चलेगा. If new plant will come, I will change it. But the old plant, I will not change it. My cost will go up. So this is something which is like keeping pace with the market, and what other industries of that type are able to do the best practices. Same, we will have to also do it. Many times people are able to get money, but they are not willing to work in that company because other systems, housekeeping, their offices are not those so standard. So those are also, and it's very simple. When it's a depreciated plant, there is a lot of saving. You can always tell management for 1%, 1.5%, and time to time we keep on upgrading it, so that people feel happy that they are taken care. People feel because we have become the old plant, so this plant will remain like that. So that is there. Plus other, as we discuss, there are n number of, one of the most important is their families are to be approached, motivated. That, because see, one of the thing which happens in industry is once the family is settled, it finds its organization support, then they try to tell their family members also not to shift. So that is also something which has to be looked into. In many organizations, that is also felt, because people don't want to change location, their children's education system gets affected and all that. And some of the important thing, like for workmen, for if it's a big plant, 3,000, 4,000 people, how to create a schooling system for the workmen, so that more and more agileness comes and people are more and more motivated.
Okay, thank
These
you so
are
much.
the, yeah.
So final take from Sharat Chandra ji. Only
Yeah,
4 and 5 bullets
yeah.
on the fair practices when we had the sustainable industrial relation strategies. So 5 or 4 and 5, whatever you may have in the bullets. So we are ending this session. Then we are jumping into another session.
Excellent. I mean, so and almost summarizing, like employee well-being is very in a bigger organization like. In the bigger organization, what Vipul sir was mentioning, you need to have accommodation. If the plant is having around 4 to 5,000 staff, accommodation, housing, then the transport, canteen, all these things to be taken care. So first is how you have deploy your resources. The first is resource hiring. So recruitment plays a major role. How you have the best talent for your company. Second, best practices, best policies and procedures. Then the employee well-being initiatives, rewards and recognitions. Proper reward system should be there at all levels. And then that's all. I mean, so you need to be abreast with the current trends, what are going on, automation of the processes, and skilling, reskilling, and upskilling. And then training programs. Yes, a very important point. Training should be, they should be a proper dashboard, or they should be a proper way of cascading the training programs on all levels of communication and the policies, refresh the training programs, POSH awareness. So you need to have a proper calendar of training program and then initiate those things. Then definitely company will be sustainable and it will go a long way.
Rightly. Thank you so much, every panelist, for your views, your opinion, and experience you have been shared on the strategic success, the strategy of the industrial relation and how it could be sustainable and the fair practices. Everyone have been rightly get the actionable idea what they can better do for the futuristic approach. So now this is the last. However, we do not have the time for question and answer. So we are concluding this discussion here. Before
But,
that, just for 30 seconds, one group picture. Everyone, please come to the screen and here bigger picture for
But
the
all are convinced. Just wanted to have a heads up, like Dheeraj, Ruben. Did you find the
Yes,
thoughts
please.
Yeah,
very
it's
good?
very
Vivek
insightful,
sir?
sir. It's really we've found
Yes,
ourselves lucky, yes, because we are witnessing such kind of
Thank you.
meaningful discussion.
Vivek
But
ji,
at the
I
same
want your
time, as
points
because
also.
porosity of time is there, that's why
Yeah.
we are having pertinent question. We will definitely post you in LinkedIn, sir.
Yes, so
Yeah,
that's
sir.
why we are
Because
making it visible for
because I
everyone.
just wanted to share that we covered all areas of a employee-centric or a people-centric organization and a sustainable organization. If you
Right.
can initiate or work on these areas, definitely, I don't think companies will, I mean, definitely get sustained and you have global excellence for the companies.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. Very meaningful, sir. Very insightful.
Yes, everyone,
Thank
please
you.
come to the screen for just 30 seconds. There are 20 participants, including the speaker and panelists. So everyone should be on screen so that I can have one picture, the close picture for everyone. I'm in the screen. Okay, out of 20, I can see only 8, 9. Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Nicholas. Okay, everyone, please come on the screen. Okay, so let me put the screen like this. So it would be okay now. Okay, so first take is here, and then again putting it on the LinkedIn with my team, which share it here there. I put here on my personal window. So first screen. So another more people. Okay, everyone, please. Yes. So another screen we have been done. Thank you so much. So now
Thank
quickly
you.
we
Thank
are
you.
going to the next session.
Thank
Here I
you.
would like to
Thank you,
welcome
Virji. Thank you,
everyone.
Samarji. Thank you, Vijay.
Yes, there are
Thank you,
still
Vivek ji. You're
yeah,
always, your comments are there.
1 and
Definitely.
5 hours remain. We had to connect it because two important sessions are there. However, we delayed it to the 2 hours behind
Very
the schedule.
exhaustive and very good informative sessions we had. Thank you, Virji, for this support. Definitely, we
It
are
is
there
your
for you.
support all, then we can make it possible. If without your support, we can't do it.
Thanks a lot.
Sharad, I like your comments.
Hey, Srilata, how are you?
Sharad, I like your inputs and comments.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Srilata. Thank you, Srilata.
But
I'm
Sharad,
fine,
why
thank
you were
you.
not there in the morning? My
Always
question
good
is that.
to
Yeah,
you
just
come up
wanted to
with
be there,
great
sir.
points.
I got stuck with something, but otherwise, I should have joined. I was thinking that the session is there at 5, so I should join at 5, but I didn't thought that I can join in the morning hours.
Yes,
Definitely,
yes.
if
I
I've been
mean,
added, definitely I should have added few points.
I
Srilata, good
know.
evening and nice virtually meeting you.
So thank you so
Pleasure
much
Nice
always.
everyone
meeting you
for
too.
this
Srilata,
interactive
happy
session and
to
the
meet
discussion.
you virtually.
Same here.
This
Same.
year, maybe possibly we all together have the physical too. We are coming up with People Manager Awards, possibly
Yes,
in August and September. So first we
excellent.
decide the number. So one place we are choosing, either it would be in the south, north, or in the west. East we have very less numbers. So one place where with the maximum number of the participants for those rewards, we are going to conduct physically. So there we are going to connect all. Maybe till then we would have more than the
Definitely.
1 lakh of community. So out of
Yes.
that, around 1,000 and 2,000 people, we can have one platform where we can meet physically. So this is
Yes.
this
Great.
years of initiative which we are going to
Very well.
make it
Physical
possible.
meeting, in-person meeting is always you have very high.
Everything cannot be done virtually, basically.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
right.
connect feel will not be there when you meet
Yeah.
only. When you meet and
So
greet, you
here,
have your personal touch is always important for all of us.
And that will provide us the opportunity to meet you all leaders.
Everybody, what I feel is everybody is a leader, sir. There's nothing like that. Everybody has some unique quality which can be enhanced and taken to the next level. So I think.
All right. Thank you so much. Just
Thank
give
you.
me a
Thank you,
while.
Biji.
So here's
Chalo, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. But I'll
everyone.
be
Thank you so
stay.
much.
No,
Can
no,
I stay for some
you are
time?
not.
Yes, you have to
Vipulji,
stay.
Vipulji,
Here is
just be
the
there.
Srilata is
Still,
there.
Yeah, I'll be
picture,
listening to you all.
picture अभी बाकी है.
Yeah, I'll be listening
There
to
are
you all.
1.5 hour again. So now
Yeah.
I'm putting Srilata on the screen. So
Nay, once
yes.
I'm there in like system, then I am there. No problem.
Oh, wow, wow. Very nice.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So here, let me go to the speaker side. So thank you so much for every participants and panelists, your great advices, and especially to the participants, your patience. You have been since 11 a.m. We are here, and it is
Yes.
now 20 p.m. Now we're still,
Yeah.
there are two more sessions we have to conclude. Now the screen is over to Shrilata ma'am. So you just put your thoughts, especially to the best practices in employee engagement and retentions. So now the screen is over to you.